Part two, the motherboards I decided we looked at them long enough, they all have problems, and I'll just give a bye-bye, we love you, sorry that you're going to the scrapper, hopefully someone grabs you, but not usually do they. I guess they want it on display as art themselves too. Yeah, this first one is some sort of Pentium 3. Let me try to read that, it's quite dusty. Well, you can read it for me, just if I can hear you through the video. Technology not that way yet. Oh, one more spec. I think I can get... Too bad this can't be a short video. Also, that might be kind of chipped. I think it says... Yeah, 815 chipset. So it means only up to 512 megs of RAM. But I thought that's typically 2 slots, but I think under the hood is a Pentium 3 900. I put one of these little blank DVDs. Just to customize, so multiple Windows 90, 95, 98 Millennium Editions. Might just keep the CPU cooler. It looks kind of cool. Yeah, we got that red motherboard over there that you saw in the previous video. That's probably where it's gonna go. I think you rotate. Yeah, you just rotate it and it comes off. Am I right? 900? Yep. 900, 256, 100. That might have been a less popular, less common speed grade. And only 100 megahertz bus speed, so not so good. But I had 900 megahertz in like a slot one, like to socket 370 adapter. And I had XP on there with a healthy amount of RAM, like 256 or more. And it ran pretty good. I didn't have any problems with it. Actually, it was an AT board even. Had like, it was in a giant, big full tower gateway. The previous generation to this giant one here. Different styling though. So there was the back ports, AGP, some kind of, I don't know what that, maybe it's a type of SCSI. What does it say? DV0 something. I don't know. The model of this motherboard. If that's right, E139761. Oh, no. It is an Intel desktop board. D815EEA. And hold on one second. You think I should have it all as one video? It'd be like 5-10 minutes. That's fine. So here we go. It'll be our first, longest video about computers yet. Got permission from the producer. Yeah. Everyone just loved their producer. Next one is, the same era. This was probably about the year 2000. And so is this one. A very early Socket A 462 board. Oh, and before we go into that, I forgot to show you Socket 370. And you see how it's similar to Socket A. Same size though. And obviously the same size for the first Pentium 4 is Socket 423. When replaced by the smaller Socket 478. Which have the habit of the CPU popping out with your heatsink when you take it out. Yeah. And you see how much more pins, 462, on this Atom board. You can't physically fit it. There is a keying right here, pinning. You see. But yeah, completely different platform. Oh, I do have an Atom. Hold on. Yes. Might as well show our condolences. Ooh. It's missing, has a chip die, so not a good one, and missing pads when I tried to wash it under the sink because it was just coated in thermal grease. So I'll show you how an Athon fits. This board's a little bit higher quality. Has a metal, retention lever. Don't just love that feeling of a nice hard ceramic. Always thought the old Pentium 3 just always felt cheap to me. Just all plasticky, feels light and cheap. Never really liked it, but it's kind of cool looking. This little thing, a lot of pins, almost makes it look old. But show you how the Athon works. Also has they mark a corner off or something. two, not just one on one side. You know, like the Pentium 3. You match it up. Zero insertion force. Unless your pins are kind of bent, you wedge it in a little, but not much. That's what a CPU for this motherboard would look like. If it was period correct, you could put an Athon XP, but this is what it really would look like back in the day. Very industrial, very bland, but it's kind of a natural art in my opinion. Even has an ISA slot if you had an old, trusty old modem or something. You don't want to spend the money on something newer. Drivers, you're running an old operating system. This could still support Windows 98, you know. And the old Athon Thunderbirds were lacking SSC, they're lacking SSE, unlike the Pentium 3 and the Athon XP. So it's actually fully Windows 95, fully Windows 95 compatible because SSE bug in 95. And this is a 8-bit KT7A, a famous gamer board. The CPU is actually located, CPU socket is located more towards where the power supply would be and the rear case fans. So that's a smart idea. Great overclocker board, right? Because you can, I don't really believe in that kind of stuff, but yeah, but better cooling placements. Despite you don't got much space for coolers, they couldn't shrink the circuitry to be small enough. They still had to have a lot of capacitors. Looks kind of inefficient in a way because it looks like smaller ones on the socket 370, but yeah, probably 1.5 gigs of RAM. You can look it up. I think it's a VIA. Yeah, it is a VIA chipset. VT82C686B. Yeah, it was pretty dusty, but if it's a dead board, I just put it to this. I clean with alcohol. I know it's bad for the circuitry. Just display only. This one, I think it had the same problem this one had. Maybe like it wasn't reading drives with the IDE. The capacitors look good. I can't remember what was wrong with it. We did have a couple chipped CPUs though. I mean, chipped dies. Well, the die is the very top part that's exposed. I don't like that design, but I guess they were advancing so fast in technology, they just had to make something that worked. This one couldn't boot off of anything IDE, not even a PCI IDE controller card. So, the last one I will try to cap this at 10 minutes. You can tell this board went bad. Oozing caps, nasty. Before I just put it on display here. Oh, that one's really. Oh, look at that! It's all swelled like a new tub of ice cream, like a mountain, upside down crater kind of look. This was a fancy EVGA board though, Core 2 Duo, Core 2 Quad era, and was early. Well, S-Lite came out like the mid 2000s. This is a bit more polished, very good cooling, a great board here when it was good, but capacitor plague was not only in the early 2000s, but also mid 2000s. So it does have HD audio though, but I didn't test it further, and I don't know how to do capacitor repair, but I'm not really into. I'm not a fan of like stuff newer than Pentium 4 for Intel. 8-pin CPU connector. I hear it's like for better overclocking, or at least these boards this generation. There's actually a Pentium D in here, and the reverse of what we did the other boards. This is the first ever LGA LAN grid array socket, and pins are not on the processor socket like you saw on the old socket 370 or any other similar socket. Big or small, but the same design. Just a bunch of holes. But take this little sucker out. Well, it's supposed to be flat on. Those are all pins. If I were to, I would ruin this board if I would have got my fingers, but I'm not going to ruin the board. Wherever somebody finds it, pretty rare at the recycle center, and they want to use it. I mean, place the capacitors, it might still work despite a little bit of static. I'm not in grounding bags, but oops. Be careful with that dead board. Okay, let me show you what it looks like to put a CPU in. Well, it always look like notches or something. Here we go, it has notches here, so look on the socket for the same thing. Okay, it's facing upside down, so yeah, supposed to do 0 insertion. Make it nice and flat. Oh, it's not as fragile as I thought. Isn't it? I don't know. You tell me if you see any bent pins. Like post the comments, right? This cell phone can't go too up close detail. But yeah, I'm actually, I'll tell you a secret. I'm actually afraid of building systems with LJ sockets. I'm just so worried about bending pins and motherboard that I stick with socket AM4 still, the very last socket in the world to still have, you know, PGA like pins in the CPU underside. Like this good old trusty Athon that has no thermal diode really protected from overheating. The motherboard might sometimes work. Athon XP out of first protection. But I think it's more durable than the old socket 370s, but still can happen if you're not careful. But yeah, anything else shown on this board? Mid 2000s, I'm guessing probably 4 or 8 gigs of max RAM. SATA, it was a Molex for extra power to the motherboard for overclocking for whatever reason. Read the manual. Oh, I gotta tell you the model number, yeah. Looks like 2 IDEs and extra SATAs on the side. Very complex board. Yep, 2 PCI Express X16s. And something is left out. What could that be? PCIe X16 3. I don't know. What is the name of this motherboard? All right, it's XFX is the brand. XFX Enforce 680i space LT space SLI space Intel socket 775DR2. So it's an XFX Enforce 680i LT SLI. Pretty cool. I'd look it up sometime. Oh, and that's the last thing we do is cover that up and then force it down. So at least when you're taking off your heatsink, don't gotta worry about the CPU coming out your socket. Some improvements, but I still prefer PGA. Well, thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Saying bye to myself and the viewers. Respect everyone. Bye.